Alright, today's problem, you have a roof with two tension cables hanging at a 30-degree angle and a 20-degree angle with an 800 kilogram weight hanging from the bottom. And it's all in equilibrium, so it's not moving. So what you want to do first is draw your free body diagram where you make a point, which is the center of that. You draw your tension 1 and tension 2. Then you got to find your angles. You found this angle and this angle by taking 90, subtracting that to get 60. 90 minus that to get 70. Then you got to draw your triangles. So you make your X and Y axis, which I did here and here. You draw your T2, T2x hat, T2y hat, T1, T1x hat, T1y hat. And you draw your mass times gravity. So what I did next, I did 800 times 9.8, which gave me 7,840 newtons. Then you got to take in the x's. You got to come in with this equation. Negative T1x hat plus T2x hat equals 0. Work all that out, and then you get T2x hat equals T1x hat. Now, to get the substitutions for these, you got to come over here and say cosine 60 equals T2x hat over T2. I got that by saying cosine is opposite over adjacent. So then you just rearrange all this, you multiply it by T2, and now you get T2 cosine 60 equals T2x hat. So you just take that, plug in for right here. Same thing with the other x's. Cosine 70 equals T1 x hat over T1. So you multiply by T1, and that will give you T1 cosine 70 equals T1 x hat. So you just substitute again. So once you substitute all that, you got to get T2 by itself. So you divide by cosine 60, and that gives you T2 equals T1 cosine 70 over cosine 60. And once you found that, you move to your y's. Now the equation for y's is T1 y hat plus T2 y hat minus mg equals 0. Move that all around, and then you get T1 y hat plus T2 y hat equals mg. Now remember what I did up here with the substitution, you gotta do the same thing for the y's. So right here I did sine 70 equals T1 y hat over T1. Multiplied by T1, that gives you T1 sine 70 equals T1 y hat. You substitute. Same thing here, you substitute again. So now we come out with T1 sine 70 plus T2 sine 60 equals 7,840 newtons. Okay. Now for here you got T1 and T2, but up here you already found what T2 is. So you just take this right here, plug it in right here, that gives you T1 sine 70 plus T1 cosine 70 divided by cosine 60 times sine 60 equals 7,840 newtons. Now you just plug this into the calculator. It gives you approximately 1.532 T1 equals 7,840 newtons. Now to get T1 by itself, you just divide all that. That gives you the tension 1 is equal to 5,117.5 newtons. Now you just take this, plug it in up here, and that'll give you T2. So once you did all the math, T2 is going to equal 3,500.6 newtons. So that's how you find the tension in this cable and this cable, where this cable is tension 1 and this is tension 2.